Hi guys, hope you are doing great, all of you. So I warmly welcome you to the our fourth session of the Asia webinar series. Thank you for joining with us today. Yeah, in the previous session, we discussed about Asia durable function. So if you have missed that session, you can always go through our playlist on YouTube and check it out. So actually, we are planning to have 4 more session in this webinar series. So we have planned our next webinar is Asia Storage Service. And we have planned Azure DevOps Part 1 and Azure DevOps Part 2 and Azure Container App. Hoping that you all will continue with us until the end of the session, so that you will be able to get a comprehensive knowledge on Azure services by this session. If apart from that, if you have any question, if you have any doubts, you can drop into the chat, and end of the session we have our Q&A session, so you can ask your question on that session. So about today's speaker is Indunil Vitana, is an associate tech lead at 99x with 5 years of experience in full stack development, and he involves himself in all stage of software development in 99x. So I warmly welcome to Indunil to continue the session. Sure. Indunil, over to you.
Thank you, Roshan. So welcome all again, guys, for the 4th episode of the Azure Fundamentals series. Today, we are going to look into Azure management tools and security solutions. And we'll be doing an overview about selected management tools and selected solutions. We are not going to talk about everything today. So I have selected few of the management tools that you can use for your day-to-day development and deployment work, and also security solutions as well. Plus, I have pre-recorded a demo regarding Azure Bastion, how to configure Azure Bastion server in order to securely log into one of the VMs that has been already created. So let's start. So this will be the walkthrough about the management tools. First, we will be looking into the management tools section, and later we will be looking into the security tools. So we'll be talking about Azure Monitor, Network Watcher, coming under Azure Monitor, and then automation, Azure Advisor, Azure Resource Manager, and Azure Resource Mover, and finally the Cloud Shell. So what are management tools? Management tools are services are there to manage your solutions which have been deployed in Azure, and it also allows you to monitor and also configure the products and deployed applications. So moving on to Azure management tools, the first one is about the Azure Monitor. So Azure Monitor, basically, as name suggests, it allows users to monitor the applications. So it's not just limited to monitor applications. Also, it allows you to monitor the network as well as the infrastructure components on a single dashboard. So from this, users will be able to monitor the availability, the performance, the usages of the deployed resources. So if you participated for the previous sessions, you'd know that it's basically we call all the items, all the components as resources that we deploy in Azure. So these resources can be monitored. Basically, whether the resource is available, we can connect to it, or if there are any errors, we can troubleshoot that as well. And also how the performance, and using these you can monitor when the duration where the resource has been used a lot, or sometimes where the duration where the resource is idle. Likewise, you can always go and check from the monitor. And also from the infrastructure section, you can get the CPU usages, available memory, network utilization. So from these items, you can always understand about how your resource has been used. And also if you need to do a, say for an example, if you need to update or upgrade your solution to cater to more users, then how you can upgrade it based on the historical data available. So these can be identified using Azure Monitor. And as you can see, so Azure Monitor gets data, logs, and metrics, basically data from all these applications, operating systems, Azure resources, subscription, tenants, and custom resources if there are any. So everything will be taken into Azure Monitor, and it logs. Basically, it stores the data, and using those data, you can, as you can see, you can do visualization, you can analyze, and you can always use other softwares and get more data and more information about your Azure deployed services. So that is one of the thing that you can do using the Azure Monitor. So moving on to the next one is about the Network Watcher. It is under coming under the Azure Monitor itself. So using these network insights, user can automate remote network monitoring, and it will give users the ability to access data by getting them to, I mean, users will be able to get real-time performance information about the resources and network, right? If there are any problems with your connectivity, if there are any problems with the network, and if there are any attacks which has happened to networks, people can users can always go and have a look on the network traffic and see the flow logs available and understand how it has been done. And also as part of this, if there are any VPN has VPN components configured, VPN resources configured, and you can always diagnose these VPN connectivity issues and apply solutions as well. So yes, so this is how the network monitoring section looks. And as you can see, you can set up alerts as well, where if there are any problems, then you can get the traffic analytics of that as well. So next section is about the automation. And using the automation, users can control the hybrid environments without much hassle. So currently it's not totally cloud. There are hybrid environments. So there is a section for basically there can be a cloud section and also on-prem section. So these can be managed using the automation feature. Users can automate the configurations and tasks such as like upgrading the operating system using the Azure provided services. So this will be significantly reduce the cost and the errors. So since it will be handled by Azure itself, it will significantly reduce the cost and the errors. And also there are automation runbooks which can be configured using Azure portal and also PowerShell or Azure automation APIs, which will allow users to configure their resources automatically. And looking at the graphic available here, so as you can see, there are runbooks where we can deploy, we can update at the scripts to create the resources. Then from the Azure portal or webhooks or PowerShell, you can invoke those runbooks, and using that it will create the resources and also do certain tasks such as upgrading the Windows or upgrading the operating systems or upgrading software and all this. So next up is about the Azure Advisor. So Azure Advisor provides best practices to help you to improve reliability, security, performance, and achieve operational excellence and reduce costs. So basically, Azure Advisor is working as a recommendation system where users will get information on how to configure the Azure resources, as well as if you have the to get more idea, if you have already configured resources, it might give you tips on how to reduce cost, or maybe how to improve performance, and using Azure Advisor. And also users can activate on subscriptions and get real-time suggestions on above mentioned activities as well. And also using the graphical views, users can monitor resources and optimize deployments with, and which will give the Azure Advisor score. So this is the UI which gives the advisor score. So here it will for the moment it doesn't have any resources allocated, but if there are any subscriptions, it will give you the information about the cost, about security, reliability, and likewise, and also the recommendations as well. Next is about the Azure Resource Manager. So Azure Resource Manager is there to basically to manage the resources. So it provides a management layer that allows users to create, update, or delete resources in Azure, and also to manage access control. So if when you are creating the resources, there can be users who will have limited access controls. So those can be configured using Resource Manager. And basically the advantages are that it allows you to manage the infrastructure using a declarative templates, so rather than scripts. So you can create templates defining the dependencies between the resources. So in a case study, we can say if you want to move some of the resources to one of the availability zones, then you can define the dependencies which are available within those resources. Then those will be moved directly, and also together. And also if you can create dependencies between, for an example, you can create when you are deleting a VM, then if there is a hard disk attached to that VM, you can define that, okay, this hard disk also needs to be removed when deleting the VM. So likewise, you can create dependencies between resources, and it will give you more holistic view on how to manage the resources as a group. So it will be always easier to manage them as a group rather than managing them individually. So there are plenty of ways to manage access Azure resource management. So you can use Azure Portal for that, and you can use Azure PowerShell or Azure CLI, or maybe Azure APIs, which are management APIs that are available. So you will have the management groups at the top, and under that there can be multiple subscriptions connected with management groups, and under each subscription there can be resource groups which will have multiple resources as well. So that's how the management layer looks like. Then we are coming into the Azure Resource Mover. So this is used to move the resources based on the requirements. So customers would have requirements that would change by time to time. For an example, say there are a company that is catering one of the European region only. Then they decide that they are going to shut down from European region and they want to move it to South Asian region. Then if you have on-prem solution, then you will be need to discard the infrastructure, or maybe move them, which will be higher cost. But using Azure, if you are configured your solution using Azure, then you just need to have you just need to move your resources from one region to another, because the Asia region cover almost all parts of the world. So it will be easier to move your resources to any kind of region using the Azure Resource Mover. So also it can be used to replicate the resources, or maybe do any configurations and data transfers between the availability regions. You can use that as well. And if you have any dependencies, if you have added any dependencies, those migration work will work smoothly. So there won't be much downtime in the sense of like getting access to those resources. So this moving can be done between subscriptions in the management layer itself, or maybe in the regional area. So final one for the management section, the Cloud Shell. So users can choose between Bash or PowerShell experience depending on what they like in the Cloud Shell. And also Cloud Shell is assigned per unique user account, and automatically will be authenticated, so you don't need to go and authenticate differently. And also there's Azure files attached with it, so if you need to persist the data, that can be also done. And also there is a contained integrated file editor where you can edit file information as well. So next section is about the security tools. So here we'll be talking about 5 security tools, security solutions which are available in Azure. There are more solutions, but we have chosen only 5 for the session today. So first one is about the Microsoft Defender. I think most of y'all are familiar with the Microsoft Defender, which is available in your local PC if you have installed Microsoft operating system. And also Key Vault, and then Azure DDoS protection, and Azure Application Gateway, and finally the Azure Bastion. And I believe there was a question regarding Azure Bastion in the second session I did. So I have created demo on that as well. So security tools are there to protect your data, applications, and infrastructure. So Azure has provided built-in tools, built-in applications to do this. And also its configuration is little, easier. You just need to know how to do it, and also you can enable it with simple multiple clicks, and you can enable them in all types of environments, whether it's a hybrid or a cloud or anything. So first one is about the Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and here it gives a continuous assessment on the security about the cloud. If there are any breaches on the network side, or if there are any unwanted access which has happened, then those will be always defended using the Microsoft Defender, and it has it is updating real time. It is updated with the real time threat detection, so it will always be ready for the external threats that could happen on your cloud. And also it is available for cloud or multi-cloud or hybrid environments, so you can configure them. And there is a cool dashboard provided to monitor the security, so where you can go and check about your resources, the security status of the report resources, and if there are any kind of access breaches, then you will be able to see it from the dashboard. So here also what they do is they monitor the traffic, they collect the logs, they analyze the data for the threats, and they will show them in a single dashboard. And if you are using Azure key vaults, if you want to use encrypted keys to access your solution, then you can use key vault, and from there you can store your encrypted keys, and you can do the authentication with Azure AD, and then use that token to get the access to your, say for an example, if there's a REST API which needs access key, then you can get the authentication from Azure AD first, and then using that token you can get the valid key from the key vault, and from there you can get to the final destination, the REST API. So as you can see in this diagram, first you authenticate the user who is accessing using Azure Active Directory, and then receive the token, and from there you present the token, and then you will be able to access the API key vault, and from there the key vault will do the token validation, and then it will be users will be able to access their resources. So this particular section, this particular flow will be happening in the key vault. You can integrate the key vault capability with the Azure AD. And next up is Azure DDoS protection, and here it allows users to secure the applications against DDoS attacks. So DDoS attacks are people are trying to increase the inflow traffic to your solution. They keep sending requests to your solution. So these can be prevented using Azure DDoS protection. So this is also a built-in tool. It will monitor the network traffic, and with the historical data, it will understand if there is a possible increase in the network traffic to your resources, and if so, then they will identify and they will alert for the vulnerabilities, so you will know that you can take preventive actions using the feedback you got from the DDoS protection. So as you can see, the web applications are deployed here, and there can be requests coming from the public internet, and you will have the DDoS protection standard with the tuning, so it will understand if there are increase of the inbound traffic, so it will monitor and it will adapt, and also make sure that your application will not run out with these problems. So next up is an interesting one, the Azure Application Gateway. So it's actually there's to load balance the web traffic which is coming into your web applications. So you can it can make routing decisions. You can configure it to make routing decisions based on the URLs or additional attributes in the request. So for an example, if we can say there is a application which has images and videos, so you can have two servers, one for images and one for the video server pool, and then using the URL you can configure the application gateway to route these two different server pools, so it will not exhaust the server performance, and it will give you more faster feedback of the requests. So that can be configured using application gateway. And also, if you are there are certain applications with the course policy applied, so those can be also overridden using these application gateways and API gateways. So final one is about the Azure Bastion. So Azure Bastion is kind of server which deploys and lets you connect to the resource. So in a case study, you could say for an example, you create a VM for your day-to-day to host one of the web applications. And if you open the public ports which are available on the VM, anyone from anywhere could connect and you to that using the public IP. So, and also it increases the vulnerability, and it increases the threats which will be which can damage your services. So you can always configure your VMs to be in a private network and with private IP, so it won't be exposed to the internet. But in order to connect to that, maybe for the maintenance work or to host anything or to check logs, so you can use RDP or SSH connections to connect it. But since it does not expose an public IP, you won't be able to connect it using a local machine. So then you can install a Azure Bastion service or Azure Bastion server. So you will be logging into Azure Bastion, and from there it will be redirected into your resource, the VM. So this will basically secure your VM. So you will only expose the Azure Bastion IP as public IP, but your resources with your valuable data will not be exposed to the public internet. So this is what has been shown on the diagram as well. So people will be accessing the Azure Bastion, and from there it will be accessing the private VMs. So to give you more detailed one, I have created this demo. So I'll play it.
Hello guys, welcome to the demo regarding the Azure Bastion server. So Azure Bastion is used to connect to the resources in Azure which do not have the public IP access. So in order to secure your resources, you can always remove your public IPs from the resources. So from your local machines or anyone through internet, they won't be able to connect to those resources. But in order to maintain those resources, you need to log into those resources. So you can use a server, Bastion server, which is secured and provided by Azure to log into these resources. So Bastion has SSH and RDP connections where you can use Bastion to log in. So in today's demo, I have created a VM here. If we go to all resources, I have created a network, virtual network. And within that virtual network, we have a VM called VM99X1. So the significance of this VM is that it does not have a public IP address. So if you want to go and connect to this VM using RDP or SSH, for example, if you connect using RDP, you can see that IP address is selected as private IP address, and even though the port number is defined here, you will not be able to connect to that particular VM. So your connection will be timed out in case you need to log into this VM, since there's no public IP address. So to log in, what we can use is that we can go to all resources and create a search here for Bastion. And the Bastion resource is here, and you can create that. And even before, if I search again, as you can see here, there are some overview descriptions about the product, and there are reviews and everything. So you can go and click create, which will navigate you to the create Bastion server page where you can do the configurations. So you need to have a valid subscription, and you need to add it to the same resource group. here, or if you want to manage it in a different resource group, that's also fine. So basically these two are mandatory, and you need to give a name. So I'm going to give a funny name called Azure Bastion, and then you need to have this in the same region as other stuff, other virtual, other VMs and stuff the networks are located in. And for the moment, I'm selecting the tier as standard. Basically, the difference between basic and the standard tiers are basically the additional features that they offer. And this has 50 multiple logins that can support VM instances can be supported using Bastion server. So 2 to 15. So I'm gonna keep it as the minimum 2. And from here, you can select the virtual network in your region. And if there are any issues, it will show. So it says that it must contain a subnet to a different subnet to work on this network. So you need to go manage, click on manage configurations, subnet configurations, and then you can add one. So I'm going to name it as Azure Bastion subnet, and the range I'm going to put as 10.3. Address range, and I'm going to add a new 10.1, sorry, 10.01.0/24, and I'm not going to change any of these, and hit save. Once it is added, then you can go back to here, and it will be automatically selected as the subnet. So you need to have a different subnet than the default subnet for this thing to work. And in order to access this particular Bastion server, you need to have a public IP address. Because now all the resources within this group is private, but in order to access the Bastion server, we must be able to connect to Bastion server from outside without being on the virtual net. So we are creating a new IP address, or you can use existing one if you have. And then you can go to tags if you need any tags. And let's see if, and also the advanced section, which are the features available on the Bastion. So currently they have provided copy and paste, IP-based connections, authentication one, and also native client support. So for the moment, for the demonstration purposes, I'm just keeping the copy paste only. So this means within multiple sessions, you can copy paste within using this feature. And if we let's see if the validations are passing. If they are passing, it will turn into blue color, saying that validations have been passed. And then this gives a summary of the things that we are going to create: the name, the subscription, and all the features and subnets and everything. So if all are good to go, you can create this, and basically this will as you can see on the notification bar, the initializing and the submission of deployment has started, and this will take some time. So around 5 minutes, I guess. So I will come back once I will show once the deployment is done. So as you can see, the Bastion host has successfully deployed, and you can see the deployment details here. And you can see the operation details, which will say how much time that it took. It has taken around 6-7 minutes for the deployment. So we'll go to the resource, and it has been updated, and now we can go to our VM. Again, I'm going to show you now. It doesn't have a public IP still, and you can go here and connect to Bastion. where you need to provide the username password that you wanted to log into the Bastion, so the VM, when you were setting up the VM. And you have to tick this in open new browser tab, so it will open as a new browser tab. Else, and also if you are using incognito, make sure that you allow the pop-up blocks from here. And when you press connect, it will open a new tab and will be given connected to the VM, and you will be able to see the VM, and you can access VM from there. So basically you are connecting through Azure, a secured way, rather than RDPing from your local machine. So that's it about the demo. Thank you guys.
Yeah, so that was a small demo related to the how to secure your resources using the tools that have been provided by Azure. So here your resources are in private, so it won't be exposed into the internet. So and you will be accessing those in order to perform the maintenance work or deployment work using the Bastion server. So about the question, yes, the username password is for the VM one, because you will be connecting to the VM using Bastion server. And other thing you need to make sure is that both are in the same virtual network. So it will be shown, and then you need, in order to log in, because Bastion is working as an interface where you can connect to the VM. So you need to provide the VM credentials. So yeah, so that's it for the session, guys. Prashant.
Yeah. Thanks, Indulin. Yeah, it's time to have a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, you can ask now.
Hello. Yeah. So one question. So when we are connecting to the Bastion host, so that means anyhow we need to access that Azure portal, right? We don't have any RDP session initiation, any kind of things not there. We need to first log in into Azure portal, right?
Yeah, so there are, when configuring the Bastion, there are native connectivity that you can define, but normally the normal scenario would be to go to the portal. From there you access the VM.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Seems like there's no question. So right. Yeah, I would like to thank to Indunil to accept our invitation and sharing knowledge with us. For sharing knowledge with us. Actually, thanks, Indunil. Yeah. Our next session is about Azure storage service in next week. So you can stay tuned for that, and